This is a rare activation, and it may be exactly the one you needed, not because this moon has been absent for 250 years, but because of the extraordinary cosmic patterns surrounding it. This is the Buck full moon. On the very same day, the Sun and Jupiter align almost perfectly on one side of the sky, directly opposing the moon in Aquarius. All of this is unfolding during Pluto's first major era in Aquarius in nearly 250 years. The true activation comes from all of these cosmic forces speaking at the same time. Sometimes the right moment only appears after every other option has failed. If many things have not worked out for you lately, this moment may carry a deeper meaning. However, not everyone watching this will receive the same kind of luck. One person may receive money. Another may be protected from making an expensive mistake. Someone may meet the exact person capable of opening a door they could never open alone. Another person may simply find themselves in the right place at exactly the right time. Fortune does not always arrive in the form you asked for. Often, it arrives in the form your purpose requires. Someone destined to lead may receive influence before receiving wealth. Someone meant to build something important may experience perfect timing through a delay, a warning, or a crucial piece of information. Another person may be protected when a door refuses to open, only to realize later that the rejection saved them from following the wrong path. The greatest form of luck is receiving the one thing without which your next chapter cannot begin. Therefore, do not compare your fortune to someone else's. Their mission is different from yours, and that means today's blessing may also look completely different. Your breakthrough may begin through a chain reaction. At first, nothing seems dramatic. One event creates another, the second leads to a third, and within a few weeks, you suddenly find yourself in an entirely different position. That may be how this full moon works. It does not need to transform your entire life tonight. It only needs to move the first piece. Most breakthroughs are invisible in the beginning because the first miracle often looks like a coincidence. That is why you should not judge this day only by what happens before you go to sleep. The real influence may be the chain reaction beginning now and continuing long after the moon is no longer full. This full moon may be preparing your next chapter, but the greatest transformation may not be what enters your life. It may be the role you are being asked to assume within it. Every chapter quietly chooses its main character. During one season, you are the student because you need to observe, listen, and understand. In another season, you become the builder because no one else can create what you already see in your mind. Then comes a season when you must lead, teach, protect, or make the decision everyone else is avoiding. A new chapter does not always announce itself by changing your surroundings. Sometimes it begins by making your old role feel too small. Life stops asking what you want and begins asking who you are willing to become. Pay attention to what people suddenly expect from you. Notice the responsibilities that keep returning and the situations for which you can no longer pretend to be unprepared. These demands may not be obstacles. They may be clues revealing the role you are about to play. There are 3 forms of luck that may appear around this full moon, and only one of them may seem fortunate immediately. The first is replacement luck. Something disappoints you, disappears, or refuses to work. Yet before you can fully accept the loss, a better option appears. This kind of luck proves that some closed doors were never punishment. They were preventing you from settling just moments before something better arrived. The second is timing luck. You hear one sentence, discover an important detail, or receive a warning shortly before making a decision that could have cost you money, time, or peace. Nothing new may be added to your life, but something harmful is removed from your future. The third is positioning luck, and it is the kind most people fail to recognize. Nothing dramatic happens. There is no major announcement or immediate reward. You simply take one action, visit one place, answer one message, or meet someone who quietly positions you exactly where you need to be for what comes next. Some forms of luck give you the prize. Others place you inside the room where the prize will eventually be given. Positioning luck may feel disappointing because many people expect fortune to produce an instant celebration. But the most important thing happening today may not be the reward itself. It may be the movement that makes the reward possible. This full moon is not acting alone, and that is what gives this moment a much greater spiritual meaning. Around the same time that the moon reaches its peak, the sun and Jupiter come extremely close together on the opposite side of the sky. In astrology, the sun represents identity, direction, focus, and the area of life demanding your full attention. Jupiter expands everything it touches. It can increase confidence, opportunity, ambition, and even the size of a problem until that problem can no longer be ignored. Therefore, while the full moon brings something into full view, Jupiter ensures that what is revealed does not feel insignificant. Imagine the moon as a light exposing the situation, while the sun and Jupiter increase its importance. A decision may carry more weight. An opportunity may reach further than expected. A realization may transform several areas of your life at once. That is why this day may feel unusually intense, even though the moon itself looks familiar. The moon reveals the door, but Jupiter shows you how far that door could take you. The full moon may reveal what has reached its peak, while the sun and Jupiter ask what can grow from it next. Today's energy does not automatically favor the richest, the smartest, or even the person who considers themselves the most spiritual. Luck is not always impressed by knowledge or status. Sometimes it searches for a much quieter quality, the ability to recognize an opportunity before it looks impressive. That is the hidden requirement. Some people only trust a door after everyone else has already walked through it. They need proof, applause, certainty, and a guarantee that everything will work. But by the time all of that becomes available, the opportunity may have already moved towards someone else. The person most likely to benefit today is the one capable of noticing value while it is still small. The person who takes a message seriously, follows an unusual instinct, or gives an overlooked possibility a second chance. Luck rarely arrives wearing the clothes you expected. The real question is not whether you are lucky enough. The question is whether you are aware enough to recognize what is trying to reach you before it becomes obvious to everyone else. Extraordinary luck is not always free, but that does not mean it arrives as punishment. It means that every major opportunity carries responsibility. A new door may require you to act quickly. Greater influence may demand better judgment. More money may require discipline. The right person entering your life may require the honesty you have avoided until now. The opportunity may be fortunate, even when the responsibility attached to it feels uncomfortable. This is why some people pray for a larger life, then retreat when that life begins demanding more from them. Every blessing carries weight, and only those willing to carry that weight can keep it. The price of extraordinary luck is often becoming more dependable than you were before it arrived. Not perfect, but prepared to handle what you once said you wanted. Now, it is time for today's comment of the day. Stagnation is a silent decay disguised as comfort. This message may feel uncomfortable because there is truth within it. Comfort is not always the same as peace. Sometimes comfort means remaining where you are simply because the situation is familiar. You know the routine. You know what to expect. Without realizing it, days become months and months become years. Growth normally asks something from you. It may require a difficult conversation, a new beginning, an uncomfortable decision, or a risk. That is why comfort can be so convincing. It demands nothing from you, but if you are no longer growing, ask yourself whether you are truly at peace or simply avoiding change. Thank you for sharing that powerful perspective. There is also a very specific kind of luck that does not look like sudden wealth, a perfect opportunity, or a dramatic miracle falling from the sky. It looks like finally receiving a different result from a situation that trained you to expect disappointment. Perhaps you are normally the person who gets overlooked, even when you are qualified. You watch other people receive invitations, recognition, or opportunities, while your name is somehow forgotten again. After experiencing this enough times, you stop seeing each rejection as a separate event and begin transforming it into part of your identity. Instead of thinking that opportunity did not work, you begin believing, things like this never work for me. That is the pattern this moment may interrupt. The person who is normally ignored may finally be considered. The application that usually disappears into silence may receive a response. The idea that struggled to attract attention may reach someone who immediately understands its value. A process that normally takes weeks may suddenly move within days. The attempt that always reaches the same dead end may finally reveal an opening that was not there before. This does not mean every unfair situation will be corrected overnight. It also does not mean that one full moon will erase every delay you have experienced. The deeper meaning is that full moons symbolically bring repeating patterns into view. They reveal what has continued for too long, what has reached its limit, and what can no longer continue in exactly the same way. Sometimes, the first sign that a cycle is ending is not that everything suddenly becomes perfect. It is that one important event refuses to follow the old script. The pattern begins losing its power when life gives you an answer you were trained not to expect. That different answer matters more than it may appear because repetition is persuasive. When the same result happens repeatedly, you begin preparing for it before anything even happens. You speak with less confidence because you expect to be dismissed. You postpone trying because you assume nothing will move forward. You may even reject an opportunity before it can reject you. At that point, the pattern is no longer only happening around you. It has begun shaping the way you enter every new situation. You may not realize how deeply this affects you until something different finally happens. Someone responds with respect instead of indifference. An opportunity remains available instead of disappearing. A person who normally says no decides to give you a real chance. The result may seem small to someone else, but to you, it carries the weight of every previous moment when the opposite happened. This is why one reversal can carry more spiritual power than 100 positive words. It gives you evidence. It proves that history is not a contract and that what repeatedly happened before does not have the authority to determine what happens next. There is also a difference between a pattern being delayed and a pattern being broken. A delay means the same result is still waiting for you later. A break means the result itself changes. That is what makes this moment so meaningful. You may not simply be waiting longer for the same disappointment. You may be approaching the point where the situation finally responds differently. Pay attention to anything resembling an old situation. The environment may look familiar. The same kind of person may be involved. You may feel the same nervous expectation telling you exactly how everything will end. But familiarity is not fate. This time, the answer may arrive faster. The person who normally dismisses you may listen. The opportunity that usually passes you by may pause long enough for you to enter. The effort that once produced nothing may finally create visible movement. Even a small reversal is important because it transforms what you believe is possible. That one change in direction may be enough to influence everything that happens next. The most dangerous thing you can do on a fortunate day is demand that every useful opening prove its importance immediately. People often imagine luck arriving with such obvious force that there can be no doubt. They expect a message to contain the entire opportunity, a meeting to produce an immediate agreement, or the first attempt to deliver a result large enough to justify their excitement. When reality offers something smaller, they dismiss it because it does not match the size of the miracle they imagined. That is how people miss the beginning. A major opportunity may first appear as a casual introduction. A future partnership may begin as an ordinary conversation. The idea that changes your direction may enter your mind so quietly that you almost forget it before the day ends. Someone may offer you a small responsibility without telling you that it could eventually place you in front of the exact people you need to meet. None of these events will appear extraordinary while they are happening. Their true value exists in what they may become, not in what they can prove during the first hour. Luck is often rejected because its beginning looks much smaller than the life it is trying to create. The mistake is judging beginnings according to the standards of finished results. People look at a seed and complain that it is not yet a tree. They take the first step and conclude that it cannot possibly lead far enough. They overlook a valuable contact because that person cannot solve everything immediately. They abandon an idea because the first response is quieter than expected. A fortunate day does not always hand you the final reward. Sometimes it simply gives you access. It offers one piece of information, one name, one invitation, one idea or one change in timing that becomes valuable only after other pieces fall into place. This is where patience and awareness become more important than excitement. You do not need to pretend that every small event is a divine sign. However, you should be careful not to dismiss something simply because it appears ordinary. The most valuable opening may not seem powerful enough to interrupt your routine. It may quietly enter through the side of your life while you remain focused on the front door, waiting for something spectacular. There is another way people destroy good fortune. They test it too aggressively. They receive a promising opportunity and immediately demand certainty, guarantees and proof that nothing can go wrong. They expect the beginning to explain the entire future before they are willing to take even one step. Real opportunities rarely arrive with complete instructions. Usually, there is enough information to move forward, but not enough to eliminate every possible risk. This does not mean you should act blindly. It means understanding that certainty often comes after involvement, not before it. You discover whether a path is valuable by walking far enough to see what it contains. You learn whether a connection matters by allowing it time to develop. You understand the importance of a decision only after its consequences begin connecting with events you could never have predicted. This full moon may bring an opening into view, but visibility is not the same as complete understanding. You may recognize that a door exists without knowing exactly how far it can take you. That is why your first reaction is so important. If you demand an immediate miracle, you may reject something designed to grow. If you hesitate because it appears too ordinary, someone else may recognize its potential before you do. The luck surrounding this moment may begin on a scale that is extremely easy to underestimate. It may be one sentence that changes how you approach a problem, one decision that places you in a new environment, or one small result that gives you the confidence to attempt something greater. The event itself may be modest, but the direction it creates could be enormous. Do not measure this day only by what makes you celebrate tonight. Some of the most important forms of fortune will not look impressive until you discover what they connect to later. A small door is not a small opportunity. When it opens into a life you could not reach in any other way. If you have stayed with me until this point, thank you. Days like this are not always about one enormous miracle arriving before midnight. Sometimes they matter because one small event begins moving your life in a direction you could not see before. A different answer, an unexpected opening, or one decision made today may carry far more weight than it appears to have right now. Keep moving forward. Remain attentive, and do not dismiss something valuable simply because it begins quietly. Good things may already be moving toward you, even if they have not completely revealed themselves yet. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.